Hey guys, Alawe here for the Button Smashers, and this is my quick review of Mushroom Wars for the PC, just recently released via Steam. Now, some people may actually be familiar with Mushroom Wars. This game actually dates back to 2009. It came to us from Create Studios, and it was a PlayStation 3 game available over the PlayStation Network. This is actually now 7 years later, and we are seeing the game finally hit the PC. In the intermediary period, it was released in iOS and Android. And so, to me, the question always is, what has changed in the last 7 years? So, on a basic level, this is a real-time strategy game. Pretty much your goal, there are different modes, but overall the goal is to gain total control of a map. So kind of like you'd expect from something like Age of Empires or the original Warcraft games, or certainly from StarCraft or StarCraft 2, although this is kind of like a dumbed-down version of that type of experience. It's definitely what I would say a casual real-time strategy game would be. You can expect fairly short matches, whether you're playing against a computer or via online multiplayer. The matches should be fairly short unless you're doing a really, really complicated map, or you just have bad luck at it, but kind of a one-and-done sort of scenario. There is a bit of a learning curve to it, but once you figure it out, it's really not that complex of a game. Some people would probably say this is sort of a poor man's version of StarCraft. That's probably a little bit harsh, but certainly it's not going to compete with a game on that level. Of course, the price point is totally different anyway, so if you're looking for a StarCraft-type experience, I wouldn't really look at Mushroom Wars, but if you're wanting the kind of flavor of something like StarCraft, but in kind of a one-and-done sort of thing, I think Mushroom Wars will kind of fit that need for you. There is a campaign mode, which does tell some sort of story, and the difficulty progresses the further along you get. There's also a skirmish mode, so you can try different modes of play, just one-off little games. And then, of course, where some of the meat of the game is going to be for some players is going to be in multiplayer, and that's where you can pit yourself up against either random people or your friends that have the game on Steam, and you can try your own little skirmishes and, I guess, see who the better player is. So that all is decent. The graphics of the game I don't think have aged super well. It still has the feel of the original game from everything I've seen of the PlayStation 3 title, and I'm not sure if that's actually a good thing or a bad thing, because you would hope that in about a 7-year time period they would have cleaned some of the stuff up in this game, and so I'm a little bit disappointed in that. Although graphically it's not unpleasing, it's just I think they could have done a little bit more with what they had. The gameplay, like I said, it kind of ramps up the difficulty a bit as you go, but on some levels it's a little bit bland. It can be fast-paced and fun on some maps, and other maps it's a little bit excruciating as you wait to build up a certain point or build up enough units to capture a point of interest in the map. Overall, the music is decent. I liked it at first, but since the music doesn't really change that much during gameplay, it kind of grated on me after a while. I would have liked to see a little bit more variety in the musical scores of the game. Now, I know we don't really provide review scores in the Button Smashers, but for what it's worth, I would say this game is above average. It's a decent title, but I don't know that I would go out of my way personally to spend much of my own money on it, unless you just want a very simplistic real-time strategy experience with short matches. If that's actually what you're after, then you might like this game. It's not a bad game. It is pretty well polished. It could use a little bit of work in a couple spots, but overall it's decent for the asking price. But if you're looking for something a bit more in-depth, I think there's plenty of other games you might want to look at before you go to Mushroom Wars. So this is more of a for fun sort of game, a casual game, and so if you're looking for that, I'd recommend it, and if not, your mileage may vary, but you might want to just catch it on a Steam sale. Anyway, we should have a full written review up on the buttonsmashers.com, so definitely go check that out, see what else we had to say about it, and definitely look at some of our other content. There's lots of great stuff on the website. And you can also, of course, check out my personal YouTube channel at youtube.com/Alawe. I'll put a link to that in the description, and you can see some of the other stuff that I am up to as well. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for listening and watching this quick review, and we'll see you soon.